Good evening, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Hope you had a good day. If you did not, I hope tomorrow is a better day. Well, let's get right into it. So, you guys know, if you have been following me for a while, if you're new to my YouTube channel, or if you are just finding me on Facebook, you know you may be new. You don't know. But if you haven't followed me for a while, uh you know I have been saying that these jobs are not loyal. These jobs ain't loyal. I have been teaching on having the importance of having more than one source of income for the last uh I don't know how many years. I don't know how many years since before the pandemic, but really since the pandemic, um, because it doesn't matter what industry you work in, you never know what may happen. These jobs ain't loyal. And I know when I was younger and first getting into the workforce or what have you, we were always told to what? Get you a county job or a government job because there was what? Job security. There is job security in a government job or county is government, but in the federal government or a county job or a state job. Well, unfortunately, that has been proven to not be so true. Now, I'm not in here to get on politics, right or wrong, or what have you. Now, I will say that I do think it is wrong, no matter if it's Republican, Democrat, or what have you, that people have been laid off virtually without any fair warning, um, and being fired for not doing anything wrong. That is just not right. I don't care if you agree with Republican or what party you are in or what party you voted for. It just is not right. It's just not right. And for those who um, are taking joy and finding people that joy and finding the downfall that of people that have gotten laid off in the federal government. Woe to you, woe to you. Let's not glory in someone losing their job, because you're gonna wake up one day and you're gonna be like, oh God, I'm so sorry, I talked about other people but now it's happening to me. So let's not do that. We can all have some empathy and some sympathy for people, because people have children to feed. People have children to feed. They have their own selves to feed, even if they don't have children. But it is important, and we are seeing it more now than ever, that we have more than one source of income. We have so many people that will say, I don't want to start my own business. I don't want to do that. Well, baby, starting your own business is the only thing that you have control over. And I'm not saying to quit your job, but you better do something where you have complete control over how much money you make and whether or not you are going to be able to take care of yourself and not in the hands of someone else. Uh, the federal government laid off, fired USAID workers today. Now, they gave them 15 minutes to collect their belongings and vacate the premises. I'm going to play the video.
Happening right now in the nation's capital, people are showing support for fired USAID workers who are at the D.C. headquarters of the dismantled agency this morning. You can see the signs being held there. They were given 15 minutes within a designated 1-hour window to pack their things and get out. This is happening hours after the Supreme Court gave the Trump administration a temporary victory and granted an emergency request to pause $2 billion in court-ordered payments to foreign aid contractors. CNN's Arlette Saenz is live in Washington, D.C., outside of USAID headquarters. What are you hearing as people have to go in and get their belongings in 15 minutes time?
Well, Sarah, it's really been an emotional moment for many of the staffers who are coming here today to collect their belongings at USAID. We have seen several federal workers who were either fired or placed on administrative leave coming to collect their belongings. As you mentioned, they have about a 15-minute window to pick up any items from their office that they want to take home with them. And we are outside of the headquarters right now, where, as you can see behind me, dozens of people have assembled to try to offer their support for those USAID workers who are now leaving their jobs. I spoke a few minutes ago with a young woman named Julianne Alphin. She was participating in the Presidential Management Fellows here at USAID, which President Trump terminated just a few days ago. Here is how she described her experience throughout this process and as she came here to pick up her belongings today.
Um, it's been horrible. There's been like little to no communication with us. We're being treated terribly. Um, I'm worried about overseas staff coming back. I've heard there's a little to no communication with them. Um, there's been no like offboarding with us. It's just been very sudden everything. One day being locked out of the building, the next being told you're on admin leave, things like that. It's been very difficult.
Of course, it is heartbreaking. You go to work, you do your job to the best of your ability, and then to be told that you're fired, and you didn't do anything wrong. It's one thing if you have a job and you are taking too many breaks, you're used up all your vacation time. Now you're taking time off, and you know all the things some people do. It's one thing if you're stealing paper, if you stole something from the office, or whatever the case may be, a justifiable reason. Um, but to go to work and you didn't do anything wrong, and then you are suddenly laid off. And can you imagine the people that may have been working in that agency for years, or maybe not have been working in the agency for years? Maybe they worked in another part of the government and they transferred over to that agency, or they're close to retirement. I mean, we know that for people that are older, although there should not be, there is age discrimination when you are looking for a job when you're of a certain age. But it's back to, these jobs ain't loyal. These jobs are not loyal. It doesn't matter what job you have. You cannot put your whole trust in any job. I don't care where you work, what you do. You cannot put your whole trust in a job, because it is being proven over and over and over that you don't know what tomorrow may hold. Job today, no job tomorrow. These jobs ain't loyal. These jobs are not loyal. We have to have more than one source of income. We are called to ownership. And I'm not saying to up and quit your job. Let your job be let the money from your job give you the income that you need to start your business. If you have a side hustle that you're treating more like a side chick that you picking up every now and then when you need a little something here and there, you need your bill, a little bill paid. You picking it up every now and then when you want to have a good time. I'm gonna need you to stop doing that and take your side hustle to the next level. Legitimize your side hustle, because you don't know when your side hustle may become your main thing. You may need it as your main source of income. So you want to be prepared. None of us are guaranteed that we are going to have a job tomorrow. There is no guarantee. And we see what is happening in the federal government. Like I said earlier, when I was first entering into the workforce, what did people sell us? People in my generation, oh, get you a federal job, get you a job with the county, get you a job with the state, good government job, because what? Good benefits, pay is good, and there is a there's a stability. Stability is not the word I'm looking for, But there's job security. There's job security. Let me tell you, there is no such thing as job security. There is no security in anything. The only thing that you can be secure in is the Lord Himself. He is the only person that will never switch up on you, that will never drop you. He is going to be the same forever. That is the only thing you can be secure in. Everything else, there is no security in it. So I want to tell y'all, you all that are saying or have said, hey, princess, hey, good to see you, who have said, oh, doing a side gig isn't for me, side hustle's not for me. Even some of you guys, you know, you are in debt up to your yin yang, as the old folks would say. You know your job is not giving you enough money to help you pay down your debt, but you won't even do gig work. You won't do Uber, you won't do Instacart, you won't do any of that stuff. You better put your pride aside and do what you got to do. You better do what you got to do. And we have to stop saying, "Oh, side hustle's not for me. That's just not my thing." You better pray and ask God to give you some strength, give you some wisdom, use the skills that He has giving you, because God has given every last one of us a talent. He has anointed every last one of us to do something, and that's for the people that serve Him and don't serve Him. He gives all of us gifts. That's right. That's right. Your side hustle can eventually be your main business. You never That is absolutely right. That is absolutely right. And we may need it. You may need it as your side business. But God has given all of us a talent. He has anointed all of us to do something and to do something extremely well. His word says He has given you the power to get wealth. Will you use your power? Will you use your power? And if you are one of the people who has followed me on Facebook for years, or one of the people who has recently been following me on YouTube, because I'm new to YouTube in the last few months, if you have been following me on YouTube, you have been following me on Facebook for years, and you have heard me talk about having something in addition to your job, and you did not do it, and now you are scared you're going to get laid off, or you have gotten laid off, are you going to take heed? Are you going to take heed? Look for another job, because you need work, especially if you don't have, if you didn't get a good severance pay, if you don't have money saved up like that, you need another job. But are you going to take heed so that when the next time come around that there is layoffs, or you find yourself getting fired, that you're not in a tight, you'll be able to not go to bed worried about how you're going to feed your kids, how you're going to pay for your car. I can only imagine how many people's cars are going to get repossessed. You know, the average car note is over $700 these days, which to me is outlandish, but people are doing it. $700. So, and most Americans have credit card debt. So you got credit card debt, you got a high price car note, then you stay in a luxury apartment, or you got a high price mortgage, and now you find yourself laid off. Woo wee. Talk about restless night. Many side hustles, many businesses do not cost a lot. It don't cost a lot to start, especially if you're doing something online or in a digital space. Um, but I'm not passing judgment when I talk about these things. I'm saying these things because I have been there. I have been there when I was worried about my car getting repossessed. I have, let me tell you, when I lived in Georgia, I had a car that I knew I couldn't afford when I got the car, but I bought the car in hopes of being able to commute to the city to get a higher paying job. Well, that didn't happen. Hey, good evening. And um, got behind in the car note, and I was hiding my car in my mama's garage. Hiding in the car, hoping that it wouldn't get repoed. But let me tell you, baby, as soon as I found out in the state of Georgia you can't do that, that it's considered grand theft. Oh, come and get this car. You can you can have it because I'm not going to jail for nothing, let alone a car. Come get it. I have been there when I owned my first home. I had gotten behind in my mortgage payment. This is before I got married, and I did not know how I was going to make a mortgage payment, and I was scared that the home that had that I bought, I was going to get foreclosed on it. I was scared. Restless nights, worried. And I'm just telling people what I learned because I do not want anybody to go through the same things that I have been through. My husband and I, we own a home now, but one of the things we decided we were going to do before we purchased the home was get out of consumer debt. We did not want to have car notes, and we did not want to have a bunch of credit card debt. We wanted the only thing we had to pay was our mortgage. And then we decided that we were not going to buy a home based on what the bank said we qualified for. We were not going to do that. We sat down, figured out, okay, what can we afford as a monthly payment comfortably that can be paid on one income? On one income. Now, my husband has income and I have income, but we didn't decide, oh, we're gonna buy a house qualified using both our income because you got two incomes, you're most likely gonna get qualified for more. You can buy a better house. Mm-mm. We didn't do that. How much is our monthly payment gonna be that we can afford, that we can pay on one income? And that's what we did. So in the event that, God forbid, if my husband loses his job or he gets what have you, that I can afford to pay the mortgage. That way we're not worried about, oh my God, we're gonna lose our home. Oh my God, car is gonna get repossessed. Truck's gonna get repossessed. We have three vehicles. They are all paid for. Are they brand new? Absolutely not. But they get us from point A to point C. They take us where we need to be, and I sleep easy at night, not worrying about how our mortgage is going to get paid. But I just want to I want to teach people what I learned so you don't have to travel the same road. If you are a wife and a mother, you can absolutely be a wife and a mother and also do a business. I have been self-employed for since 2016. Now after COVID, I did do a little stint and work for somebody because I was just burnt out. I started my business and my non-medical in-home care business in 2016. I worked at like I didn't have a husband to help take care of anything. I was working to get that thing going. But I literally worked 3 months straight, 7 days a week, because I did not have money or credit to hire anybody to work for me. That eventually paid off. 15 employees, over $100,000 in less than 12 months. Then I started teaching other women how to do the same thing. And now I have 4 kids. And at the time, I had 2 children, 2 small children. But I was determined to help my husband and to build something. I wasn't just sitting around just, you know. But my point is, You can be a mother and a wife and run a business. You absolutely can do it. Is it always going to be easy? No. Because let me tell you, my oldest son now, he does school online, and I had work to get done today and yesterday. And if I was a drinker, I probably would have been drinking a glass of dark liquor after the last 2 days. But we got it done. And the beauty of it all is that because I work for myself, I don't I have the option to homeschool my son. My son was not at the level that I thought he should be at with public school. Now he didn't fail, he wasn't getting in any trouble, but I saw that something was lacking. So I decided to pull him out of public school and put him on online school. But if I worked for someone, 9 to 5 or whatever, I would not have been able to do that. So having my own business, and I have the freedom to homeschool my children. And I just want to encourage other women that you can do the same. I want to encourage other couples to get out of debt. Don't get wrapped up in, I need the newest car. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a nice new car. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But the problem is when you're living paycheck to paycheck, when you have the latest and greatest, you have a car note that is $700+ a month, but you can hardly afford to put gas in the car. Or you don't even have life insurance in the event that something happens to you. That's crazy. It's crazy, and it's pure ignorance. It's ignorance. And let me tell you, if you do not have life insurance outside of your job, you need to get life insurance in addition to the life insurance that you get on your job. First of all, the life insurance that you get on your job is not that much money. It's not that much money. What is it? The most you can get? 3 times your annual salary. And unless you're making high, high six figures, that is not a lot of money for the average person. 3 times your average salary. So you need to get insurance outside of your job. So in the event that you get laid off or fired, you have life insurance. Or in the event if you become ill, you may become ill later and not qualify for life insurance. So if you are healthy, you have no health problems, get life insurance. Don't be one of those people that have the ignorant mindset set of, oh, if I die, I don't want another man or another woman reaping the benefit of the policy. Come on now, we got to get rid of that ignorance. Think about your children. Think about your children. Think about your children. But we have to have more than one source of income. We can't just depend on our job. We have to stop that thinking. If you're married, work on getting out of debt together. Work on reducing your debt. And it may not come overnight, but write down everyone that you owe and decide that you're going to tackle one debt at a time. Now, there's a bunch of different strategies to getting out of debt. That's just one strategy. You can do the avalanche, you can do the snowball strategy, you can do there's a bunch of different strategies. Just find what works for you, but be consistent with getting out of debt. If you desire to purchase a home one day and you're married, try to get qualified for it. Try to purchase something where you can afford the payment on just one income. In the event that one of you get laid off, the other person still can afford to pay the mortgage. We have to learn to work together as husband and wife, those of us that are married. And ladies, let me tell you, you know you didn't marry a baller. You know you married an average salary, an average six-figure man. Stop putting a whole bunch of pressure on a man to get things that you know you can't afford. Let's stop it. And if you want things that your husband, your child's father, whoever, your significant other, the person you're checking up with, or whatever the case may be, can't afford, why don't you do something to get the income to be able to get those things? We got to stop putting so much pressure on men and stressing them out. Some of us want men to do for us what we can't do for ourselves. And that's not the way it's supposed to be. You have a brain. When God designed the women, when he designed us, he gave us brains too. We can figure some things out. If you know you married a average salary man, and and even if he's not an average salary man, if you know you guys are struggling financially, help do something to pick up the slack. In addition to your job, start a hot side, start start a business, start a hot side hustle. Turn that side hustle into a legitimate business. But a lot of us women, we got to start thinking that the only thing we contribute to a relationship are the two P's. And if you can use your imagination, I think you will figure out what the two P's are. One is pretty, but I'll won't say the rest. We got to stop that. We have to stop that. We have to stop that. Remember, y'all, these jobs ain't loyal. We got to have more than one source of income because we never know what tomorrow may hold. Now, some people know they're hanging on they're at their job hanging on by a thread. They're like, oh, I didn't get fired today because they know they deserve to get fired. They know they deserve to get fired. They know they have done so much wrong. They know they have stole stuff from the office. They know they're late all the time. They know they have taken too much time on the lunch break. They're hanging on by a wing and a prayer. But some people have done everything right. They did what they were supposed to do. And then what? They look up and they don't have a job. And can you imagine the pressure um, of wondering, I've been at a job, this place, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years. I haven't done anything wrong. But now you feel the pressure of, am I going to have a job tomorrow? And most Americans are one paycheck away from being outside. Can you imagine the pressure of that? Am I going to have a job tomorrow? How am I going to pay my rent the first of the following month if I get laid off? That's heavy. That's stress. And we should not be living like that. And we can do something about it. And when you start your own thing, it may not make money overnight. Profit may not come overnight. It may take some time, but at least get out there and try. Try. If what you tried doesn't work, it fails, try something else. But at least you tried. Give it your best shot. Give it your best shot. You can do it. You can do it. If you have to wake up every day and talk to yourself, give yourself a pep talk, speak some positive affirmations over your life, and tell yourself that it's going to be okay. But don't give up. And you may cry some days because it didn't go right. Go ahead and cry. Cry. Go ahead and cry. Now I'll tell you, don't cry in public. If you're getting laid off from that job, I don't care what job it is. Don't let them see you sweat. Don't never let the devil see you sweat. Now you may get in your car, you may ride down the road, you may get home, break down and cry. But don't give the devil the satisfaction of seeing you hollering and screaming, getting carried out, kicking and crying and screaming because that job is gone. It's gone. Let it go. and ask God what's next. And I guarantee you, He will answer you, and you're going to be all right. You're going to be all right. Until next time, you guys, have a blessed and prosperous future. And remember, you got this. You can do it. You're going to be all right.